Mm.
Welcome. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northern Nevada. My name is Chris Pecars. My pronouns are he, his, him, and I'm happy to serve as your worship associate today. I wish to respectfully acknowledge the Washoe, Shoshone, and Paiute peoples who stewarded this land on which we've gathered throughout uncounted generations. Today is our water communion, which happens to be one of my favorite services, so thank you, Nathan, for inviting me to be an active participant. We gather weekly in this sanctuary to celebrate our collective humanity, to recognize that we are all one. If you are new here, Unitarian Universalism embraces the you of who you are. We are an accepting, welcoming faith tradition, and here you'll find a home where your differences don't matter, for we are all different, we are all unique. We covenant together, building our tradition on our promises to each other and ourselves, not on dogma or on a stringent belief system. Our promises are simple to state, but take real work to put into practice. We promise to love and respect each other, to support each other in lives of meaning and purpose, and to extend that love and support beyond these walls, to our families, friends, and into Northern Nevada. Ultimately, we dream of building a world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. If you're joining us virtually, know that you are a valued member of this community and are welcomed into this space. While you are not here physically, your warmth and love is felt here, and hopefully you can feel our affection reflected back to you. If you would like to lift up a joy or share a sorrow, you'll find a form in the seat back near you or at the back of the room where there's a candle. Please fill out your joy or sorrow and bring it up to me during our time of greeting. And if you're on Zoom, please share your joys and sorrows in the chat. If you'd like to learn more about Unitarian Universalism, please see myself, talk to one of our greeters, or feel free to check out a book from our library and do some self-study at home. If you want to know more about the weekly events, there's always something here happening at UUFNN. Please sign up for our weekly email newsletter. You can fill out a contact card or sign up on our website, uufnn.org. After the service, join our membership team in the Star King Room for a Sunday Sunday, and that's an SUNDAE Sunday, an ice cream social where we can get to build community and get to know each other on this lovely September morning. There will also be an opportunity to fill out postcards for Get Out the Vote. September is Hunger Month, and let's do our part to try to fill up the two food bank barrels, one in the lobby and one near the kitchen, this month. Speaking with food kits, Reno Posse works to feed our hungry neighbors. Our auction event is finished, so no more auction announcements. Yay. But one last one. We did raise $15,567,000. Thank you all who participated and bought, and thank you in particular to our auction volunteers for putting this event on. And the fun isn't over. We will have additional auction items at our 65th anniversary party. And now, one last announcement from Deborah Graham.
Good morning. My name is Deborah Graham, and I love my mother. Of course, at this point in my life, the only live mother I have is Mother Nature, Mother Earth, if you will. And as much as I love so there's a lot that we can do. And we have a golden opportunity at UUFNN on the last weekend with other UUs to see what we can do about a positive change. To collectively reimagine a spirit-filled and liberatory future through conversations, worship, and advocacy. Congregations will work together to realize climate justice and collective liberation in our communities. And this isn't just a random UUFNN event. It's a nationwide UU focus. So there will be people all over the country focusing on this very thing. So that weekend, our congregation will identify opportunities for climate justice in our unique context, develop a vision of a flourishing future, identify a clear set of potential actions that we can take to realize this vision, enable participants to understand their roles in the interdependent ecosystem of creating climate justice and collective liberation. You can register for this event. And Sunday, on that weekend, our worship will be focused on the hour in solidarity with other UU congregations around the country. This is a multi-generational event, so please join us for conversations. Spirit-filled days. And actually, the fun begins today. Chris mentioned the postcard And this is primarily from a group called Environmental Voter Project. And they have identified voters that, well, people that don't vote, but that say climate action is their #1 concern. So we need to encourage them to vote. And from what I hear, postcarding really works. People pay attention when they get a personal postcard that's handwritten. So before you have ice cream today, be sure to fill out at least 1, maybe 2, maybe 5 postcards. And we'll have another opportunity on the 28th and 29th to continue that fun. Thank you.
Let's please take a moment.
Good morning. My name is Nathan Bakken. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm the Director of Congregational Life here at UUFNN. And before I get into our opening words, I just want to lift up and say thank you to all the members of our community who came out for Pride yesterday. We had a really wonderful turnout. We had about 20 folks walking in the parade. and what felt like at times 12 people in the booth at a single moment. And I'm really grateful for the ways this community showed up to express love to our LGBTQIA+ siblings. Every year in Unitarian Universalist communities across the United States and across the world, we celebrate a gathering of the waters, a ritual that often is called water communion. The very first water ritual that began this annual tradition was held in 1980. In the 1970s, in the years leading up to the creation of the water communion, UU women began voicing loudly the problem of sexism inherent in religion in general, and specifically in Unitarian Universalism. And it will likely come to no surprise to most of us that the way the UUs in the 70s responded to the concerns of sexism was to start committees, create study groups, and pass collective resolutions. And in that context of collective learning, collective dreaming, collective creating, this ritual was created. It was designed and led by two women for a worship service titled The Women and Religion Continental Convocation of Unitarian Universalists. There's something true about UUs, we love a long title. The original ritual is similar to what we are going to be doing today, though in 1980, it was 8 women coming forward with water from a variety of sacred places across the United States, pouring them into an earthen bowl, and during the ritual, the water was seen not just as a symbol of our connection, but as a symbol of empowerment. Empowerment that has supported women in maintaining their momentum in co-creating Unitarian Universalism as a faith that welcomes the stranger and the oppressed, that works to dismantle oppression and fight injustice. It is then the waters of this history that flow through us when we do the work today. And so we participate in our water communion today, and we do so thanking Lucille Shuck Longview and Carolyn McDade for their vision in creating this ritual, and for the reminder that we can always strive to a more welcoming, equitable, and empowering community. And it is in the light of that history that I light our chalice. It is within the light of our tradition, within the light of our community, and within the light of the hope that our spirits individually and together can ignite the spark of faith and justice in our world. I would like to invite us to rise as you in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 100, I Got Peace Like a River.
Joy
One of the things water communion represents for many UU communities is the start to our year together. It's almost like UU New Year. It's about coming back after summer vacation, after travels, after joys, and coming back together at a community and coming back to elements of our tradition that we take a break from during the summer. One of those traditions is what we call the story or time for all ages. And here at UUFNN this year, we are embarking on what we call a thematic ministry. So each month we'll be focusing on a different theme. For the month of September, our theme is welcome. And when trying to think of a story for our morning together, I realized that I think telling a story of this very room might be a little more effective than finding a book off a shelf and reading a storybook. And this is an immersive story. And I'm going to try to get a little less microphone feedback. So I want to invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable or soften your gaze. And I want to invite you to imagine walking into this room. It's a Sunday morning. For some reason, you're early. For some reason, there are no chairs to be found in this entire place. Not a single place to sit. And you think to yourself, I know that there are chairs here, and I'm going to go find them. So you begin wandering the campus, opening closets, meeting doors that you don't know the passcode to, walking out into the garden under our orchard trees, trying to find anything that could be a chair. Your legs are getting tired, and still a room needs chairs. We need chairs before everyone arrives. And as you're walking, you find someone. A friend of yours from the fellowship, maybe it's someone you just met, maybe it's someone you've known for a long time, and they are holding a chair. Hallelujah, you feel. You jump up and down because you've been standing and wandering and standing and wandering and standing, and you say, can I please borrow it quickly just to sit down? And as you sit down, the chair shrinks beneath you, and you can't fit. But then someone else walks in with another chair, and you ask if you can sit in that chair. And as you go to sit down, it rapidly expands and it's too big for you, and you're like, this isn't the type of chair I need. And as more and more people arrive for our Sunday worship, you see more and more people have chairs. Rocking chairs, stools, camping chairs. Someone even manages to bring a sectional sofa. And soon, everyone is realizing, like you, even the chair they brought is not the chair that they're able to sit in. They can't quite get comfortable. And over time, as this place fills with peoples and chairs, everyone is running around trying to find the chair that works for them. Asking, hey, can I borrow that? I just want to try it out. And eventually, you find a seat that's perfect for you. And you look around and everyone is finding seats that work for them. And that chair that you first encountered that shrunk beneath you, you see a child walk in and it's perfect for them. Everyone has a seat in this room. If you've had your eyes closed this whole time, I want to invite you to open up your eyes. And I want you to kind of just take a moment and look around at the chairs around you. Most of us have seen these chairs a lot. This seafoamy gray-green. Some of the chairs have armrests, some don't. But if you look around, you may have noticed that we have different chairs here. We have some new chairs in this place We have some dark blue ones that are wide enough for a family of 3 to sit on, that can hold upwards of 600 pounds. We have soft blue rocking chairs in the back of the sanctuary that were built just yesterday by David Shirey to offer movement and comfort and support to anyone who might need it. We have new smaller chairs up here at the front with a colorful carpet and tables and crayons, so that way the youngest among us can color and create from all the inspiration they witness from this community. To be welcoming does not mean we have to be perfect. We all arrived with chairs that didn't meet our needs, but managed to meet the needs of someone else. In the story, the first person to show up had no chair at all. And eventually, the sanctuary was filled with enough seating where everyone could find a place. Everyone was welcome. So to be welcoming doesn't mean that we're perfect. Doesn't mean that we have all the chairs that look the same. To be welcoming means we try to anticipate for the people who haven't arrived yet, with the hopes that they too might find a seat in this beloved community. And so as we bring our time of story to a close, I want to just invite you to take a moment to sit in the appreciation of the chair you found yourself in, knowing that these chairs were selected by some people in this very room and some people who hoped that you would find a place to be seated here. And it is in that hope and in that welcome that we come together on this day for water communion. Thank you. I really need to work on my segues. But we are moving into the time in our service for what we call our joys and sorrows. And we arrived this morning after a summer of wildfires and a fire that has been too close to home for many of our members, for members of ours that who have had to be evacuated, for members whose homes, property, tenants, people they support have been at risk. And so I want to bring us into this moment of joys and sorrows with a deep acknowledgement that as we gather our waters today, the preciousness of water is at the heart of what it means to gather here. So I want to invite you to find a posture that feels grounding, that feels centering for you. That might mean leaning back more intentionally into the chair beneath you, placing your feet firmly on the ground. And I want to invite you, as we come together at this time to hold one another, to just breathe the breath you need to breathe today. Take this intentional time to just breathe. As we come together in this time where we hold the complexity of life, that we cannot experience joy without sorrow, that we cannot experience sorrow without joy. We come together in deep connection with Xiomara, who's at home at the moment, recovering from COVID, who just found out this morning that the mother of her best friend of 44 years passed away this morning in Puerto Rico. We hold Xiomara and her family and her friends this morning. We hold in the compassion of our community, Diane Crown and her family, and many others who have been evacuated and displaced due to the Davis fire. We hold them as we hold Nancy Ann Leader and those who are experiencing and worrying about the loss of life, of animals, of trees, of gardens, of homes, both in Washoe Valley with the Davis fire and also for those continuing to be impacted by the Bear Fire. Here in the high desert, we are not ignorant to the reality of our world, to the reality of the fires that come and go. And in that reality, we also hold true to the resilience of community. For just as Diane was evacuated, she was received by Karen and John Franks. That community shows up to hold, shows up to respond, shows up to support and react when called upon. I want to invite you in this moment to hold in the silence of your heart the words you need to hear today. From your spirit back to yourself. For as we support each other, we support ourselves, simultaneously individual and collective. Finding support and resilience in our human condition to face the challenges of our world. Amen. Namaste, and blessed be. I want to invite everyone to just take a moment and stretch. Take a moment to just kind of feel your body in this place, move in a way that is how you need to move. It might mean standing up. It might mean rocking back and forth. It might mean shaking out your hands. Water communion is one of my favorite rituals of our tradition. And since I have moved to Reno, my experience of being in community with all of you and with this place has only deepened my appreciation for this ceremony. Water communion, for many of our UU siblings around the US, signifies the start to our church year, signifies the return from summer break, and for many communities, and including in the history of this one, water communion has been a moment where you share water of your journeys over the summer, of past experiences, and you get to say, this water is from insert place. I did not really travel this summer. I don't have an off-the-cuff remark. But it's about ingathering. It's about coming back together as a community to say, hello, how are you? It's good to see you. And I'm excited to move into the unknown of what this next year together brings. It's a moment to connect with your community and invite them into your life. Yet, here in Reno, we are one of the few UU congregations where we can confidently tell you where our water comes from. Whether it is from the Truckee River carrying the water down from Tahoe and the Sierras, or from a well dug beneath your home, all of our water is part of what's called the Great Basin Watershed. All of our water is part of the same system. And the watershed, and I wish I had pulled up a picture of a map, but Pride was busy yesterday. The watershed is the remnants of an ancient lake called Lake Lahontan, a lake that stretched as far east as Salt Lake City and as far south as Las Vegas. Vegas, Reno, Salt Lake City, Winnemucca, Elko, Carson, Gardnerville, South Lake Tahoe. We are all part of the same water system. Some of us have more water than others. We are not ignorant to the fact we live in a desert. And as Unitarian Universalists, we value and hold to the principle of the truth that we are deeply interconnected and interdependent with the world around us. Oftentimes in this community, you'll hear us talk about the interdependent web of all existence, and oftentimes it's used to motivate us into the work of climate change and social justice, because at the core of that principle, at the core of the value of interdependence, is a sentiment that says, my liberation, my freedom, my justice is bound to yours. And our liberation, freedom, and justice is bound to the liberation of this planet from extractive practices. And at the same time, interdependence and interconnectedness are spiritual disciplines. I want to invite us, similar to the story of the chair, I want to invite you to imagine, and you can leave your eyes open, turning on the faucet at your kitchen sink. And I want you to imagine what the pipe system, where that water is coming from, and where you feel like it threads all. Interdependence is like those pipes. It's like those rivers, those tributaries. It's when I turn on the water faucet in our gathering room, I am physically participating in a relationship with our land. Turning on the faucet in my kitchen sink, I am brought back to the waters of Lake Lahontan. I am brought back to the waters that are flowing down the Truckee to Pyramid Lake, and how I interact with that water is a responsibility to my relationship with our siblings on the Pyramid Lake Reservation. Water pulls us to center, pulls us to community, pulls us back into deeper relationship with this land, and I'm overjoyed that our tradition has created a ritual that pulled us to the center of empowerment, pulled us to the center of the work that women have done in Unitarian Universalism to make this place an empowering community for people like me, for people like you. And here at UUFNN, water pulls us back together on the day where fires are blazing, and we know the water from Tahoe is raining down on them through fire hoses and helicopters. That the water we're gathering here today is the same water that's being used to put out forest fires, that is saving our homes, saving our community, and is the same water that is nourishing our bodies and holding us together. So we are going to be starting our water communion ritual, and in a different tone than getting up to say, I went to insert fun vacation over the summer, I'm inviting you to approach this from a place of reverence, from a place of, as you pour water from the water you brought or from one of the pitchers we've provided, take a moment to express gratitude inwardly or outwardly to the Great Basin Watershed, to our firefighters, to our community, to our planet. Because as that gratitude pools in this bowl of water becomes the water that we use to bless people, for name change ceremonies, for blessing of buildings. It's our version of holy water, and it doesn't provide indulgences from hell because we don't really believe in hell, but it does connect us back to this land and to each other. And so we are going to begin, and as we begin, we are celebrating the coming together of our community by blending these waters to remind us that injustice remains for those who do not have access to clean water, including people within the Great Basin watershed. And we are affirming our commitment in solidarity with them. And so to begin this ceremony in a tradition created by Reverend Karen Foster, I will first pour from an empty vessel. This container empty of water reminds us all of those around the world who lack access to safe and affordable water. Bring us into solidarity with all those who are crying out for the human right to water. And it is in that solidarity I invite us now to come forward and begin the blendings of our water. You're invited to come forward now. May the waters gathered here remind us of what each of us bring to this community, and of the waters that have nourished us before we were even born, the waters that continue to give us sustenance and energy for the journeys of our life. To bring our ritual to a close as a community. For this water is sacred. It is made sacred by the many hands that have poured it with intention, gratitude, and love. The many stories that each drop of water contains, the many lives surrounding it in this unique moment, are connected by our commitments and our faith. So to bless this water together, I'm going to invite you to respond with, "This water is sacred." May it continue to flow through this community with shining reflections of the unique gifts that flow through each of us. This water is sacred. May it continue to nurture this community with sustaining hope that we journey together through ripples of growth and change. This water is sacred. May it continue to bless this community with loving reminders of our collective responsibility to one another, to the Great Basin watershed, and to this world. This water is sacred. May its ripples be a reminder that the changes and growth within this very community bring movement and transformation to the communities and to the world beyond our doors. This water is sacred. And may its purity offer grace to our community and the willingness to forgive ourselves and one another when we make mistakes. This water is sacred. And in those moments when we are confused or uncertain, may it bring us clarity of purpose and commitment. This water is sacred. And in moments when the reservoirs of our hearts and spirits are drained by sorrow or pain, may the water nourish them with the knowledge that we are surrounded by a deep and abundant love. It is sacred indeed. And now this water is indeed blessed. For we are thirsty for connection to ourselves, thirsty for connection to others, thirsty for connection to the larger life of this universe. May we all be filled with joy and hope, filled with compassion and love. May we be filled so that we may pour of ourselves out into the world. Amen, and blessed be, and namaste.
Now is the time to share our bounty. There are a multitude of ways for you to give: check, cash, or electronic. All of our giving options are on the screen behind me or in your Zoom session. They're also listed on the back of your order of service. Every month, we give a portion of our offerings to a community partner through our Share the Plate program, reflecting our mission to support good works beyond these walls and into our larger community. Our partner for September is Monai Village. Monai Village is an initiative to guide and support teenagers aging out of foster care, providing them with the basic skills and competencies so that they can become successful adults. And so now, let our offering begin. please join Tori and myself in blessing our offerings. To the work of this fellowship, which is helping more people grow in love, faith, justice, and joy, we dedicate ourselves, and these are offerings. Thank you.
As our time together today comes to a close, I invite us in the extinguishing of our chalice, rather than extinguishing it with words, I invite us to find peace in the silence, in this moment, as we extinguish this flame, knowing that the light it inspires in us carries forward far beyond these walls. I now invite you to rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, number 1064 in the teal hymnal, Blue Boat Home. Please continue to rise in body or spirit for our benediction. And if you feel comfortable, I invite you to hold the hands of the people around you. And if you are not comfortable with holding hands, I invite you to cross your hands over your heart. We came this morning to gather the waters of this community in commitment and solidarity to one another, ourselves, and our planet. As we leave from this place today, may we carry with us the spirit, the hope, the love, the faith, the justice, and joy of this community. For we know as we depart into the world, we are all together on this blue boat home. So go forth Though our worship has ended, our service will begin. Blessed be. Amen and namaste.